Hey there, this is Pierce Umloff with Jeep Jamboree, and you're listening to Trailhead.
Hello, Trailheads, and welcome to the Trailhead. Before the trails start today, we need to have a short safety meeting. Off-roading is an exhilarating but inherently risky sport. The insights and opinions that are shared by our host and any experts or guests on the podcast are intended to inform and inspire, not replace professional guidance. The Trailhead guests, partners, and any sponsors are not liable for any actions that you take based on what you hear. It is your responsibility to seek professional advice and make informed decisions, especially when attempting potentially dangerous activities. Always check current trail conditions and comply with local laws and regulations. Off-roading requires careful preparation and respect for safety, so ensure that you're well prepared before hitting the trails. And now that that's out of the way, buckle up and let the stories begin.
Rev it up, let it roar, feel the ground shake. Pedal down, dust flying, no time to waste. The trailhead's calling, engine power on a roll. This is where trails start and stories unfold. On the starlit skies, where the wild things roam. Every trail a journey, every Jeep a home. Meet me at the trailhead, where the wild ones run. The dust kicks high and the day's not done. The road wide open and the dirt in our soul. This is where trails start and our stories unfold.
Welcome to the Trailhead, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing really good now that I've had my shot of Fireball, and actually it wasn't Fireball. I made her
You
put
meant it to be Fireball.
Let me fix that.
Oh God,
Oh
Randy's
my
like,
God.
oh fuck, no.
this is what's
You know
happening.
what?
Hope's had
That's
a day.
okay.
Hope's had a week, so I'm allowing this, and I'm sorry, internet, for whatever happened.
It's gonna happen.
This
You may
is-
be the only voice of reason, Randy. So
This
I'm
is
looking
called-
at you.
That's good because
Trailhead with Pope and JD. Randy's trying to stop it from happening.
I don't think that's happening.
Oh, that's way
All
better.
right. I
Oh,
wouldn't say
that's it.
better.
Oh, that's like candy.
It
Oh.
hurts me, like the idea of
You didn't
Fireball.
just shoot High West before that, though.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I know we're
All
not
right.
an alcohol podcast, but we kind of
We are not. We're not. I mean, our interview shows aren't. So like we
Yeah.
purposely don't really drink on those on purpose. So,
Only
yeah,
Friday Night
this is
Live.
Just the Friday Night Lives, and when we're on Instagram in front of all of our friends.
Yeah.
Rob says, "Got to get Randy drunk," and the bead trail rating comes out. Basically,
That sounds about right. You were a little there last Friday, if I'm being honest.
I was
So-
pretty. I went there. Like
Oh, she did.
I did go there last Friday.
Yep.
I was in a mood last Friday. I had a lot.
I was putting that clip together from the Jeep moment, and I was just like, man, she just really was against it. And then 2 minutes later, you're like, you know what? I'm kind of okay with it.
I would try it. It's not like
It was
I
awesome.
think it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen, but I also feel that I would try it. It's not like I wouldn't get in it and drive it.
You just wouldn't necessarily buy one.
No.
Yeah, I get it. All right.
No, I realized that the whiskey I was mixing in last week was 100% alcohol, 100 proof, not freaking normal
100%.
80. So I think that's why I got a little spicy last week.
Yeah, well, it can cause a miscalculation of sorts. That's why I like the canned cocktails. It makes it very easy to keep count and not overpour myself. Now, I have been drinking out of this bottle of Fireball straight, so that's a different discussion. Good times. All right. Well, so I don't have any new vehicle information. I haven't been out all week. I haven't been doing anything. I really need to get all of my stuff done with the steering wheel and all that crap. I'm going to unplug some stuff and take it back in for some codes. So if anybody I know happens to have a code reader that can actually read stored codes, let me know, because I don't want to buy one. And then, yeah, Hopefully, I want to get that fixed by spring. But then there's going to come some of the wish list item stuff that I want to do for it, and that's just going to be the winter of maintenance when I'm not trying to make 4-day weekends out west.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah. So, Jim's been sitting a lot, and her battery's dead.
So we don't know how Jim feels.
So we need battery tender.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but it's time for us to delete the auto start stop battery.
Yeah, it's an evil parasite.
Or as I
before
call
it becomes a problem,
the ass battery.
Oh, I think it's been my problem.
If you invented ass, you are an asshole. Just saying, auto start stop is the devil.
It is. I hate that thing. We should have deleted it a long time ago, but yeah.
That's probably our project for tomorrow.
Yeah, we have a project for tomorrow to fix the battery situation.
We're gonna make Gem great again.
Good Lord.
It's okay.
All right.
Get out your red hats.
Get out your red hats. Isn't it more like a neon green hat with
okay.
That's Pope's hat.
Mahjong. Mahjong.
Randy's would be a rainbow.
Oh, good Lord. Yes, it would. But that's Randi.
No.
That's her hair. All right. So I have news. I was almost shocked when I saw that our drought of no reviews is over.
Oh, so, is it just an oasis though? Is it going to go away when you get up close?
It is not. However, when I read it to you, I'm impressed with the person's succinctness in their thoughts, and I'm very happy for their 5-star rating. Thank you very much. And
I just showed it to Randi.
So nasty 0188, and that's all I know you as, because you have not messaged me in any way that I can tell to tell me your actual name. But Mr. or Mrs. or
maybe it's
nasty.
One of the nasty boys from the WWE.
If it is,
Brian
sincerely reach out to us. Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, seriously, like just as a WWE, WWF person, like just come on. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Nasty just leaves us the 5-star rating and great listen! ! So thank you very much. We appreciate that, because it does bring us up to 19 now. And if you leave us a review and then message me, because I've got like half of the people that have left us a review so far, even if we exclude Nathan's, and just send me the information so I know who you are, and I'll add you to the pot. When we get to 30, we're going to give away some shirts and some swag and stuff that we picked up, and an 8-gang universal switch panel that I've had sitting around the house that hasn't been used and needs a home.
Mm-hmm. Like this,
and then,
there's a hat just like this that needs to be. I need to get rid of because I have too many of them.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Sorry, I thought I'd play a clip for everybody while you guys were gone.
Well, we were fucked.
We were. That was funny.
It's all right. It happens. I just need to get rid of this.
You would think all of this equipment would be able to handle getting ripped off the table by a dog and then hastily thrown back on there.
He literally weaved through and caught every single wire he could catch.
This pile of...
So was it a puppy fight or was this...
No, it was just he went into it. Like, that's it. Like, he was totally fine.
I like this, though. I'm going to do this for those of you watching. I'm going to keep... some clips on hand just for these types of moments because I look forward to Pope and Randi seeing back what happened while they were gone. And because I had a good time. That was fun. All right. So anyway,
Bowser's here.
What the hell were we talking about? Hi,
See,
Bowser.
This is the monster. This is who did it.
It's always amazing to me that the littlest dogs like that can cause so much destruction.
Oh,
so much chaos.
15 pounds of terror.
Yeah, 15 pounds of terror.
That's awesome.
Oh, are you just going to be cuddly?
Well, all the Zooms are out now.
Right?
Yeah, now that he tore down the whole building.
Yes, Josh. Bowser got massive. He's huge. He's 15 pounds.
Yeah, we should be keeping track of this weekly on the podcast like we did for Ezra.
Yeah. He's 15 pounds right now. He will. The vet said that if he keeps going the way he's going, he's probably going to be between like around 35 pounds for Frenchie. He's just big.
That's just beef.
My mom's Frenchie is 32 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's a big boy.
Yes.
So
Nice.
His dad.
All right.
Bowser's dad.
He's cute.
Good Lord. All right.
All right.
Yeah, just stop showing me the puppy though, because y'all gotta stop with the dogs. I don't want another one. I'm perfectly happy with a one dog household.
That's funny. All right. So what's on your wish list?
Well, wait. We got one more thing before we gotta go. We do have a voicemail.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Voicemail.
So and we should talk about Ben's thing real quick too before we get into it.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do the voicemail real quick. And bonus while I'm looking this up. Bonus to anybody on Instagram if they can name the video or movie that came from the movie that video clip came from.
God, you're more annoying than a creative voicemail message.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep.
Hey, Trailhead. Just watched the Season 2 music video there on the Patreon link I got. Looks good. I'm liking it. Haven't really had much going on here. Courtesy of work, taking like around 12 hours a day from me, so it doesn't leave much time for anything else. Luckily, going to get out this weekend, though. We're going to go hit the trails with Wheeling Up right here, the group I normally go with. Going out to Ben Franklin Range, so it should be a good time. Last few goes, just been me and the little guy, but this time whole family's going. We're actually going to take my kid TJ out again, too, so should be a good time. We got some snow here the last couple days, so we might have some ice to break through on the mud holes and stuff, so should be a good time. Also put in my application for Trail Hero X there, so we'll see.
That's cool.
It'll be a pretty crazy event, it looks like, so it'll be one of those, once-in-a-lifetime dealios to be worth it, so hopefully, luck of the draw there works out for me, but you never know unless you try. But can't wait to catch you guys on the show tonight. Hopefully you see this in time. If not, I guess we'll catch you next week. Catch you guys later.
Do you think his odds are about 1 in 10 at this point?
I mean, based on the numbers we got from Rich, and yeah, that's about right. It'll probably be 1 in 12, maybe 1 in 13.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they kind of have a specific criteria of folks that they're looking for in vehicles, so it's not necessarily a first come first serve on that. So it's not necessarily a lottery either. But I also got the feeling from him that it's not going to be the last time they do this. I think he would like to turn this into a larger event. I think this is just because this part is for the television show.
Yeah. They did something similar to this when they launched Trail Hero initially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a Trail Hero show that Randy and I got to watch on Prime. It was buried. Like, we were trying to find anything off-roading. And then there's this Trail Hero thing, and I'm like, oh, that's Trail Hero, that's in Sand Hollow, and it seemed like it was focused on side by sides a lot, the episodes that we watched. So we kind of got sidetracked, and then we went and found Mischief Maker on YouTube, and that's it.
Wait a second, is there like? Oh, okay, there's multiple seasons of this show.
The Trail Hero show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 2 seasons of it.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
You can't watch it anymore. I mean, they've taken it down from streaming.
Yeah.
It might be somewhere, but it's not on Prime anymore.
It's probably on. They probably repurposed all that footage for YouTube at this point.
Oh, I'm sure that they did.
Yeah. So, well, that's cool. I had no idea. All right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Then, I mean, I think the nice part about these kinds of things is if they set it up, they could set up a route that they ran all summer because they could just set the logistics up at the beginning of the year, and then just run that, multiple times throughout the year for people to go and and still keep the groups rather manageable. So I think it'd be cool. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're getting out there. I feel like none of the rest of us are right now.
Yeah, what the hell is the deal? Both of our Jeeps are in the driveway and we're not driving them. Something's wrong.
Well, because we're doing other projects right now. We have another
holidays.
We have a bigger project we're working on right now.
Yeah, we do.
There's sometimes there are larger events that you've got to take care of. So, yeah. All right.
We're going next weekend. A little bit.
Yeah?
But it's the other.
We're only taking Misfit next weekend.
Yeah.
Well, but you're going to get dirt
Yeah.
under tires. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Take a win. Yeah.
We'll take the win. We're taking Misfit. So, I mean, at least it's going to be a lot of fast dirt under tires.
Randy, are you going to make you drive or let you drive, or do you not drive Misfit ever?
No, I think it's
I
going
don't
to
know
be
if I've ever
fun
asked you this
because,
question
we're
before.
going to, no, I drive Misfit sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll probably drive Misfit while I'm down there. Also, it will be Bowser's first time on like real Sand Hollow trails. So I kind of want to be in the car to like, if I need to get out and do him, it would just be hard with the two. So it will be his first.
Well, it'll be interesting because a lot of the time in Sand Hollow, stuff that we get out and take the dog out for up here in northern Utah, down in Sand Hollow, we don't even get out of the Jeep. We just keep driving.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if he can handle the off camber or, some of the bumpiness of the whoops and the stuff like that. See if he handles that.
Yeah.
He's going to be bouncing around in the back.
Yeah, but we're not going to, whatever. I have a plan. But
he's also young enough. Like it's good to get him used to it at this age. Otherwise, he won't ever like it.
He seemed to like it when we did the Halloween thing.
The snow run.
Yeah,
the Halloween.
He loved the attention. He's like, look at all these people who like me. He's just a ham. Like he just wants to be friends with everybody. And so I think that like he'll figure out how to like the Jeeping thing so that he can hang out with the people. Like he's hilarious.
Yeah. That's awesome. And honestly, like I think that what you guys do isn't necessarily any harder than taking a dog on a long trip over semi-bumpy areas. And yeah, he'll be fine. He'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just take him out in it.
That's why we're going to, we talked about bringing both of them. And then it was just kind of one of those things. It was like, I want to have Bowser have a really good first experience where we can kind of figure it out together.
Moose hasn't been to Sand Hollow, has he?
Mm-mm.
No, Moose and Dottie have been to Moab twice, but we haven't taken either of them to Sand Hollow with us. So when there's in Winter 4x4, Moose is going to be around probably.
That's fun.
And he probably won't be on the trails.
He probably won't be on it. He doesn't like the crazy stuff. He likes the scenic stuff.
He likes the scenic stuff. So if we're doing something scenic where he can get out and meet a bunch of people, that's his favorite because he loves.
Or like coming to he'll probably be at like some of the event stuff with us and everything. So
yeah,
both of them will be at Winter 4x4.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to drag the dog with me for that. Although I might. I feel like I could have brought the dog with me this last time. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, where we're staying, the dogs will be able to hang out with us.
You're terrible.
Understood. All right. I'm moving on for the benefit of all. So we had Ben Burr on. One more thing I wanted to mention two more things I wanted to mention. No, I only had two. Only two. Nathan mentioned Patreon, and I started posting there some videos. After every episode that's going to air for the next 2 months, I will be adding a music video, which is very air quoted when I say music video. It's essentially just a bunch of extra clips that I've got of us on the show and different clips of us jeeping and things like that, set to the different pieces of music and AI pieces of music that were made for the theme song. So I started posting those videos.
I blame you.
I know you do.
Instagram.
I know you do.
I blame JD for some of the posts that are
I may have taken like this week off of Instagram, but I've got like a dozen AI bangers coming out that
Oh.
you're gonna want to
There's
reuse.
There's some really good versions of our theme song, man. It's
they're
amazing.
so terrible. Like it's like awful, bad, good.
I took
guess.
one of my most popular reels of the year. It was obviously a funny one. And I told ChatGPT to make a song from what that theme of that audio was. And oh my God, I was laughing for like 20 minutes. So
He literally sticks his earbuds in and then sits on the like couch and giggles. And I'm like, oh my God, stop.
So I've got some cool stuff coming to our Instagram. I'm not going to do it all the time because you can't use it as a crutch. But
yeah,
and also, dude, let's be honest, that getting something that's really good out of the AI, it takes a lot of iterations.
it's a lot of work. Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that was almost good.
Yeah, and that's the funny part, right? So I have 100 and some odd versions of the theme song, and I got one that worked because I was able to find at least 60 seconds, which is about what you need for an opener, and that all made sense and didn't have any overlapping words or a random scream in the middle, or like there's been some really weird shit that it's produced. So, but if you're a patron, all you have to do is be on our Patreon list. You don't even have to be a $4 a month person for most of them. But these will just be all of the videos that are normally playing at the end of the podcast, at the end of the show, will now be on Patreon later on. Just so we can start getting some content up there and motivate myself to do some of the other stuff we've been talking about doing on there.
Yeah.
And so thank you for bringing it up, Nathan.
How about suggesting in the comments, people, what you would like to see from our library of wheeling videos? Like,
I'm scared of that because of the audience we currently have.
Yeah. They're going to be like, show Jim's rollover. Show Jim's rollover.
Yeah. No, we've been there, done that.
That one's off limits. But you could look at Misfits, the Misfits calamity, and watch us. We could watch us recover Misfit. There's other things like that. I'm just curious. Like you guys, if you've been following us for any amount of time, we have 4 years of wheeling content. Everything from mild to wild, from poser to show off. We've done it all. Like we were out there doing Sand Hollow 7s when we had no business doing 3s. Like we've been there. And so I'm just curious if there's something you want, tell us in the comments, and maybe we'll throw something on Patreon for you.
Yeah,
I'm willing to put in the extra work for it because I'm not building a YouTube channel. Randy won't let me. She's like basically said,
she's like,
that's
not who you are.
For
the Instagram. Yeah, fair enough. I get that piece too.
Actually, that's not who we are anyway. But
I just got a great idea for a show though. We should all go through our Instagram accounts. And we need to find some categories, our cringiest, our best performer, those kinds of things. Like come up with a bunch of categories and give out like most awards. Hated. Yeah, our most hated.
We could do our top 10 most hated videos. I think that would be fun for us.
All right,
but
it
has to be ideas. Like on not most hated as in like it only got 100 views, right? That's not fun.
No, like, it's like viral.
People like commented like "F you guys suck." Yeah.
We'll put our top 10, most hated videos. There you go.
What do you think would be the number one most hated video?
The trailer video.
The trailer video still gets comments.
It's still the comments are off. The comments are off, but people are so inclined to give their opinion that they will go to other videos.
I had so many videos getting comments about the trailer that I turned it back on again just to see, and all of a sudden it's like fucking 20 comments a day on this trailer thing. Like, have you guys even like read the other 1,800 people suggesting the same thing? Like, the funny part of it is there's only like 200 people saying sell your Jeep. So at least that part's good.
out of what? Like, out of how many?
Out of like 1,800 comments, there's like 200.
Yeah.
You bought a Jeep. That's your problem. Or there's a few.
I mean, that's
well,
just normal.
There's a few comments
They
about
have
our
Toyotas.
about our problem solving skills, but
I would say 50% of them are mad at the
the shackles.
The shackles. The shackle is like everybody's like
take the shackles off and you'll have room. Hey, did you notice that the shackles are mounted to something that sticks out that same inch?
Yeah. People don't always do complicated math in those moments. They just
the funny thing is we didn't do the complicated math before, and that part made it work. We were like looking at it and we're like, oh shit, I can't figure out why this square peg doesn't fit into this round hole. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this rounded on the edges of the square if you just like shift it a little.
just move it to where it's supposed to be. Yeah. It should be fine.
It was that's just it's probably, if you want like a good like moment, you could just go through that. It's like that's probably our most like funny.
Yeah.
And so many people are just so put off that our shackles are on there, but like they're off-road only, and I use them a lot.
They're like
I don't want to pull them out.
Those aren't decorations. Like, well, these Jeeps don't go on the road.
Yeah.
And yes, they fucking are decorations.
They are. Like,
look at my Jeep. It's bling, man.
I know, but we use them every time we're on a trail, and the last thing I want to have to do is try to find a freaking shackle so that I can.
I don't want to look for a shackle. I have it handy,
right,
all the time, 24/7. And if I am driving it on the street and your fucking ass is pulled over to the side of the road and needs to be pulled out, guess what? I got a goddamn shackle handy.
Yep,
2 of them even.
And that's and here's what happens, folks. So I leave mine on all year long so that I also have easy access to them and can, just use that shit when I need it.
Are they yellow?
Because it looks nice. They are Yes, they're
yellow. Hell yeah.
They are earrings from my Jeep, and I recognize it. Every couple years I replace them.
I think your Jeep requires a little bit of bling. Some earrings is nice. It makes it look tougher. Like, remember when you were in high school and you pierced your ears?
Like the Billy Idol thing going on, right? Like, should I just put one shackle on one side so it's not like...
I don't think I've ever had...
What side is the right side?
The thing is that I don't think I've had all four shackles on at the same time ever.
Yeah.
I'm always missing one or two.
Yeah.
Like, I've always got, like, a lopsided...
Yeah, Randy always only has one shackle.
It's like one or two.
It changes sides too.
It does. It's
I mean, as long as, I don't understand. Like,
she's a hot mess express. It's fine. Like, it's like literally like usually there's one missing somewhere.
I say this, and I say this because I know there's some distance in between us, so you can't hit me when I say it. But I feel like in the same way that they say, like, I am a reflection of my dog is a reflection of me. He is a ball of anxiety, yes. Who is sometimes energetic and outgoing and other times not. And I feel like our Jeeps in some ways also represent us.
Absolutely.
Randy, so
Jem is 100% a reflection of who I am as a huge, like, if you look at her, she is like a Monet for sure. She is like really hot, but then you get up close and there's some fucked up shit.
That's it. That's it. Just gotta stay. You gotta keep people at that 10-foot radius, man, so they can't get too. You're not allowed to see the swirls.
Yeah.
So
hot from afar, far from hot.
It's like
awesome.
It's like a Van Gogh.
It's a Monet.
You get up close, you can see all the little scribbles on it.
No, it's a Monet.
A Monet, yeah. She's right. Yeah, there you go.
That's a Van Gogh.
All right. Well, this is. Don't argue. She's gonna hit you.
Brian said one of his shackles is holding up his bent rear bumper in place, and I own that too. I believe that. I bet
that was our shackles too.
I had a bumper, my stamped bumper that I had before I had all my motobuilt stuff. It was literally like, I don't know what it was holding on, but it was a whole thing. There was like
I had a broken rear track bar held up by one. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like we literally bought these really cool stamped steel bumpers. To be honest, they look great. They did.
They look pretty.
Yeah,
they look pretty
until
you took them wheeling, and they didn't even hold up as well as a plastic one would have.
Well, the other funny part is that I had to like jump on it down so I could close my tailgate.
Yeah.
Or if I needed to get my tailgate open, I had to jump on it for a few minutes, and then I could open my tailgate.
They bent, and so like we didn't know better when we got into Jeeping,
Yeah,
and
we
so we
didn't know.
bought these, and they had rebates too. So by the time we got done with the rebate, they were like $200 a piece. And something in my mind was like, "Hey, Pope, you bought a Rubicon, and I'm sure that bumper cost $1,400. So why are we putting a $200 bumper on in place of the $1,400 bumper?" So in my mind, I did have this thought, but when I was driving that thing, it looked good. It had this big beefy claw, freaking hook things on the front, and then I hit one rock and it tacoed.
And the other part is
a 0 mile per hour sliding down.
And he had the angry grill conversation with me. He's like, I think I want one of these. Like, there was like the first 2 weeks
really?
he had it.
That was with the old Jeep.
Was it with you?
Yeah, I didn't want that.
I'm
I didn't want that.
I'm
with
still a
Misfit.
little disappointed with that you had the conversation at all, though. If I'm being honest.
Well, with
He
my
didn't know.
JK, I was bored, and I thought, oh, I would like to put an angry grill on it. That'd be fun.
I mean, I had angry eyes. I should shut up. Yeah, I should shut up.
I just laugh. I think it's funny. Like, your perspective changes, your taste changes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't just like the angry grills so much because they're a thing. I just think the aesthetic of it is what I don't like.
See, but you liked it at one point.
I know, but they don't look good on JLs.
Oh.
I don't have a problem with them per se.
The new ones
I
kind
a
of have
problem
like
with the
this
fact that it's the wrong number of
forehead
slots.
thing too, right? So before it was just kind of like you kind of slanted in over the headlight and you lost a little bit of the top of the headlight that you don't use anyway. But then you've got like this, you know, I don't know. I just didn't like the way that the new ones on the JLs, like they're just enormous.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So not on the
Anyway.
wish list is basically what he's saying.
I'm saying that a 2024 grill is on the wish list for the Misfit.
See, I don't want that at all.
I do.
Do you really want to update your grill?
Yeah.
To the newer
Everyone's
one?
doing it.
Okay.
Even
All
Mischief Maker
Look.
with a fucking JK has a
everybody's going up triple
2024
jointed, would you go
JLU
triple
Jeep on
jointed?
there.
Well, it's because it has a lot of airflow.
It does. It has the airflow, and that's why a lot of people are doing it.
Okay.
And
I mean,
have
I get
a
it,
Hemi,
but-
and you know, 'cause I have to
Like,
compensate somewhere.
All right. You don't have a. You don't have anything behind your grill, like one of the printed grill plates or anything, do you?
No.
Oh heck no, no.
Yeah.
He draws the line there. He draws the line.
Come on, man.
I don't want shadow
You
box
asked
images
that?
in my
You
Jeep.
asked-
No American flag shadow box behind my grill.
Oh God, he draws the line. He draws.
America.
America.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck,
you
that's
were
funny.
Get all like he was like offended when you said that. Like that's the funny
I know
part.
he
is
was.
It's like
I heard it.
What?
I
Okay,
heard it in
but
his
to
voice.
be fair,
And
though,
like that's the line. I was just wondering where the
To be
line
fair,
is.
though,
Yes.
if I could make one with whatever art I wanted, or if I could have made one with a Utah
You know
flag,
they do that, right? Yeah.
or something like that,
Right.
I might have considered it. But the only thing that actually I didn't really want any of the stupid flags. That's the thing. Like 50 of them were state flags.
Yeah.
What's our phone number?
Yeah,
like
that's
the
part of the
stupid
problem,
flag.
too.
Did you say?
Sep-
Yeah,
Yeah.
your stupid state
Your
flags.
stupid state flag. Insert whatever flag that is.
That one with the
to
bear
leave
on
us
it. Forget about
the
it.
one with the bear on it, sure. You know what? Let's go for the largest potential population of offended people. 719-408-0132.
I'm gonna offend the fourth
Hey,
largest economy.
no
in the
more
world.
drinking for you. You have like Jesus.
Oh man, that's amazing.
The one
All
with the
right.
bear on it.
Yeah, they have other ones, but you can't do that now. You have the 392. Your Jeep needs to breathe. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, it needed to breathe before that anyway. It really. Whenever you're in the desert, you want your Jeep to breathe.
Yeah, I don't need that. But mine's just a topo map. I didn't want to do anything fancy or big. And at some point, it's got to come out anyway because it's starting to go.
What's it a topo map of?
Nothing in particular. They didn't really want to do a custom one, and I would have, but that might be a subject for 2025 wish list items. So We'll see how that goes. But yeah. So yeah. All right. And before I forget, and it gets too late in the show, if you live in Colorado, Christmas tree season, if you want to cut down your own, I don't know, check local laws, check local listings. But here in Colorado, in a lot of the state forests, you can get a permit for $20 to cut down a tree, and you have a natural Christmas tree out of the forest, and you help them with fire mitigation, which they're going to desperately need next year.
And it'll last a long time.
That's how we get it.
That's the other thing. Yep.
Yeah, it lasts forever.
For. You don't have to put water in it. You just put it up. It'll sit up, and it'll be fine for a month. So yeah, it's really good. It's
which is really good because we always forget to water it 2 or 3 times, then it stops drinking anyway, and it's over.
It's been the best. It's been the best. The last couple of years I bought 2, and even if I don't get 2 when I'm out in the forest, at least the money goes back into the local forest system that I'm cutting from.
That's cool.
So, and the last 2 years, it's been right here in our backyard, so it's helping. Fires and all that stuff. They're right here. Yeah. Last bit is that we had Ben Burr on the show on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the days this week. And I'll play this short clip with it. We don't have to spend a ton of time talking about it. We can do that next week after that episode is aired. But just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what he's running into in this last few months of the year here before next year. Whoop, that was wrong.
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot about what would happen in a lame duck session. During the Obama years, Obama did wait until the last minute to do a lot of things. And then when they lost the control of the government during 2016, a lot of that got undone through an act called the Congressional Review Act. And so I don't expect to see a lot of big regulatory rulemakings going through at the end of the day, like what happened with Obama. I think they learned their lesson on that. They got a lot of those done by this last summer is why we saw so much activity during the summer. Okay. But the one thing that still is on the table is they always do some last minute Antiquities Act National Monument designations. And so that's our biggest worry right now is that there will be a lame duck land grab through a designation of national monuments. Biden, I was interviewed by the LA Times this week. They are pushing for a lot of these in California. There's one that would be right next to Glamis, the sand dunes down there. There's one that would be just south of Joshua Tree National Park that they're calling Chuckwalla. They want to turn the whole Sierra National Forest into a national monument. 1.4 million acres. And there's another one called up kind of on the northern border. It's called Satitla, and it's around Mount Lassen and the volcanic regions up there in the northern part of the state. And those are the big ones in California. You have a big one in Oregon that's floated around, the Owyhee Canyon lands. You have the Dolores Canyon National Monument in western Colorado, and then there's another one called Between the Lands, which is between Bears Ears and the Canyons of the Ancients, that they've been trying to fly that one under the radar. And there's one up near Island Park in Idaho that they want to expand sort of the protected footprints around Yellowstone. And so that's been our biggest focus right now, and will be through December, is helping the public understand this threat and making sure that the public, because I don't think the public wants a lame duck president sabotaging the next administration coming in with a bunch of land use restrictions.
All right. So yeah, what Ben kind of was just kind of talking about was for the whole portion of this episode, or the whole episode actually, was just kind of the election results and what that means for land use, both in the short term and then in the long term, into next year and the next couple of years. So his immediate short term concern is last minute national monument designations right before the president leaves office. One of them was the one he was talking about. One, I think the Swell, he thinks might be announced before the end of November. Mm-hmm. So there's still a lot of those fights going on. And maybe that was just the plan piece, but the national monument piece of it, there's some stuff in California, I think, before the end of November. There's a petition at their website.
They wanted to do some sort of, I think they wanted to do also some sort of Oh no, that was the swell thing you were talking about. That wasn't a national monument. That was just a BLM plan.
Yeah, that was just a BLM plan. But I think it was the, good Lord, I don't have the list anymore in front of me. But a lot of them are in California. Some of the ones, I think the Oahe one is still on the table as well, up in the Pacific Northwest. So he's essentially, if you go to sharetrails.org or blueribboncoalition.org, they have all of the different plans that they're kind of keeping an eye on here in these last couple months before January. And sign those petitions, get your name on those lists for each one of those forests. Even if you're not intimately familiar with it, or it's just a place you visit or want to visit, make sure you put your comment in there and show that you support keeping those lands open.
One of the reasons why it's good to submit to sharetrails.org, you submit your trail tracks there, and when one of the areas that you've been to comes under fire or becomes part of a plan, like the San Rafael Swell, for example, if you were someone who wheels there a lot, you got a lot of tracks there, they would contact you and say, hey, by the way, these trails that you wheel on are subject to closure in this new management plan. We'd like you to go comment. And so It's actually helping us gain traction in this fight. It's helping to improve the situation for all the people, because basically I can't go and comment on something in Idaho and say, you guys just need to keep the trails open, blah, 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 because I don't know anything about that area. Right. I'm not a good person to comment, right? And even though overwhelmingly the population probably wants to keep trails open, you can't just have a bunch of emails from people saying, keep it open, assholes. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So what does work is when they know that you've been there, they know from your tracks that you submitted and all that stuff, you can go now say, okay, I've been to this area. I can go comment. I can say that this trail is actually a access way to something else. And if you close this trail, then you lose access to fishing over here. You lose access to a scenic thing over here. And then they have to reevaluate the plans. It's part of the response to the research or to the lack of research that the BLM does typically in these things.
Right. So that's just to be clear for the moment. And after talking with Lauren from UPLA, it's only for the moment. That is specific to Utah for the track portion of that. So if you submit, you can submit under Trail Saver. You can submit a track and then basically a description of the trail that you went on. But it's the same concept and the same basic idea that the Blue Ribbon Coalition uses when they collect our comments through them, right? So they can keep track of where we're at, where we're commenting on, and then they can prove to the government, hey, we know you've gotten these comments because they came through us.
Right.
We saw them first.
Yeah, and the other thing that that's important for you to know is when you're submitting these things to Trail Saver or to Blue Ribbon Coalition, they're typically at least especially for Trail Saver, they're not sending those comments to the government. They send those right back to you. So if you're like F you liberals, you're going to get an email back to you that says F you liberals, and then here's your trail information. So don't so be mindful of who you're actually communicating with yourself. And
they're just interested in keeping trails open and every method they can do to make that happen.
The fact that they know people who've been in these areas and who have on the ground knowledge. The on the ground knowledge defeats the sitting in the office drawing crap on the map thing every day, and that seems to be the most powerful tool that Ben Burr and Blue Ribbon and other organizations like theirs have.
Yeah, well, I think we've recognized as a community that's what SUA's been doing, and that's what those groups have been doing, is that they've been kind of carpetbagging these comment areas with people from out of state, and the BLM has really ignored that for long periods of time now. And we're like, because of that, now we have to just go in there with ammunition. We have to go in there with actual information saying, we've been on these roads. We know they exist. We know that they're used. Stop lying. So, but we can dig into some more. I'll post some more clips of that show. That'll probably be out Monday or Tuesday for those of you watching live. For the rest of you not, you'll see, have already aired by the time you're listening to this. So, So yeah, cool. All right, we're now 51 minutes in, and I apologize.
We can't
It's
go
all
fast.
good.
We
You
try.
know what? It's one of those we do, and it's like we didn't really have a huge list of stuff to talk about tonight, and we still ended up here. So, all right. So, what unreasonable things do you guys have on your wish list for next year?
Oh my goodness.
All right, should we start with reasonable things? Like, do you have a list of like these are definitely going to happen? These are things that I know I can actually afford, and I'm not just pipe dreaming.
Yeah, so things that are actually going to happen to my Jeep as I'm doing the Moto-Built 3 link on the front. And this is the same suspension that Randy's done to Gem on the front side. The back side is in the Monopoly money section of the conversation.
Okay.
But the front end is definitely going to happen.
If he has Monopoly money. No,
Yeah.
he's actually getting all of this.
I'm actually getting all of this stuff too. But the other thing that I'm adding to the Gladiator is a 3-to-1 transfer case. It's an Atlas transfer case.
Okay.
The number one reason why I made that change after adding the Hemi is because on these obstacles and when I'm sitting flat on the road or any even slightly downhill, I have no brakes. The automatic suspension is pushing through the brakes. And it's really super cool to crawl with the 4-to-1. I can go a little bit less, and then I won't be dying. Because that's my biggest thing is the first time I went wheeling with it in Sand Hollow, I was going down a hill. I'm like, oh shit, I can't stop.
Oh yeah.
And it took me a minute to figure out it wasn't just the brakes. Now, stronger brakes, definitely something. We're actually upgrading the brakes in the truck to tow these things around.
Okay.
But yeah, that's that. The 3-link and the Atlas has actually a really good reason for it. Now, someone asked me like, how often do you do front digs? Well, I haven't done any because I don't have an Atlas. So that's so it's not a fair question. How often do I think I would have done it? Every time I do the maze. There's at least one spot I would do it every time. But yeah, that's on my list of reasonable. You need it. I'm dying to hear what Randy's reasonable is because I have a list of things Gem needs, but I'm wondering what Randy thinks Gem needs.
I'm really hoping you guys haven't talked about it before now.
We haven't, so this will make it really fun.
We haven't talked about this.
Yay, couples therapy live on air.
No, well, I know what Gem needs. And needs and wants are really, really strong words. Like you're saying needs.
Needs. So wants, needs. I think it needs. Yeah, this is definitely needs.
See, the problem is that Pope's going to co-sign anything that you say in terms of, go ahead and add that shit. Do it.
Well, this is the problem, is both of us know what the next thing for Gem is, and I don't think there's a question.
Maybe you know what you think the next thing is, and I know what I think the next thing is.
What do you think the next thing is?
Okay, so we've got Monopoly money thing, which is not what we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about something Gem needs right now.
And what's that?
Fucking speakers.
Oh, speakers. Yeah.
She needs a sound system.
I don't even care about her speakers.
Wait,
See, that's the thing.
Do you not have any speakers in that Jeep?
I just have the ones
she
on
has
the
the little dashboard dashboard tweeter things on the front.
Jeez. Oh, no. That's all right. I thought she was driving around like a psycho.
The sound bar is gone with the Moto-Built cage install.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
By the way, I have one if you're looking for one. And the cage is the cage is really super nice, but we need to now do a different style of speakers on it. And so that's what I think Gem needs is a fucking badass sound system to make her sound as good as she looks.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like, I enjoy a good stereo. Like, the one thing I didn't have a problem with on the Rubicon was the Alpine stereo system that it came with. Like, that was like, yeah, okay, I'm down for that. I don't care about the leather
Gem
seats. But
still had that, that would be perfect. Because I had that same Alpine system in my 2013 JK. Randy's has a variation of it in her Jeep. Misfit, I don't think they put the Alpine in the Gladiator. They put something in there. Maybe it's Alpine. The Gladiator doesn't sound as good as the Wrangler, though. The Wrangler sound system. Even when I had the JK, I freaking loved that, man. I would like drive down the campground with no roof on, with my stereo as loud as possible to make sure as many people could hear me coming, because it sounded
That
good.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was also in my 20s.
I still feel like it's something you do today, but under certain circumstances.
Less so, because I already
Less
have
so,
all the other
yeah.
stuff making me stand out like a sore thumb. I'm already a spectacle. I don't need to sound bad too.
There is that part. Like at some point, I think there's an age where you realize it's less cool looking and more just an obnoxious thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I am still obnoxious and overbearing, and I know it, and I like it.
You just don't have to, but you don't have to broadcast it like that.
No.
You do this podcast.
I do this podcast to be obnoxious and overbearing.
What about you, Randy? What's definitely happened?
I want to do the rear seat deletes and put in some some storage back there and be able to have like a dog area that's a little bit less of a seat. So yeah, I want to finish off my back of my thing.
I think we both have the rear seat delete in our minds.
Yeah.
For both of our Jeeps.
It's just useless area. Like right now, I can't store very much in my Jeep, which I don't want to have that much in there anyway, but I want like a platform with like drawers. I've been looking at a lot of different things. I might even have the guy that does all of our fabrication Chance make me something. I don't know. I haven't decided because I kind of want it a certain way and I haven't been able to find anything that's exactly what I want. I want it to sit up and I just have a plan in my head.
Okay.
The thing that might be that's definitely like next year. The thing that might be more of a need than a want, but then also a want as well, because I don't need what I want. Anyway, the engine's probably happening next year.
They don't know what we know that they know that we know that they know. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Well, I'm going to need a
now.
new engine soon, but do I need an
That's
LS?
exactly what I
Probably
thought.
not. Like, so I don't need an LS. I could get a 3.6 or like another engine. My engine is starting to die. Slow death. And
I think it's going to go down like Aqua Jeep Girls did. It's going to like lose one cylinder
at a time. I'm just going to be like from 6 cylinder. No, I'm only 4 cylinder.
Yeah,
so I'm going to lose 1 cylinder at a time. So I might be 2 cylinder.
You'll be like a Geo Metro with a turbo.
That's kind of what's happening. So
actually, I think Geo Metros had bigger motors than yours.
She's dying slow. I mean, it's slow and steady. So we're gonna. I don't need an LS, but I think that that's what I want. I have a whole plan. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of all the electronics and do. Yeah. I have a plan.
The setup that Randy really wants to do. We're taking this from. This is my car I drive to work, to this is a Jeep that doesn't do normal driving anymore, right? Borderline race Jeep. She wants to put on an LS motor. She wants to get rid of all of the shit computers that don't work right when you modify your Jeep anymore. Mm-hmm. They're great for a stock Jeep and that drives on the highway, but as soon as you start taking it off road, you don't want any of these nannies in the way. You don't want any of the traction control, any of that bullshit in your way.
So basically, I want to strip her down and get an engine.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
Holly
I
EFI computer on the front. And get rid of all the Jeep computery shit. It's no longer a Jeep. It's now a race car.
How does that feel? That sounds like a great idea. Like, do I need that? No. Do I want that? Yes.
Do I need it? Absolutely not. But hey, you might.
I can get another 3.6 that's just going to blow up in 2 minutes anyway.
You will need a motor. That is a fact.
I will need a motor soon. Do I need an LS? But Pope got his Hemi that he wanted, so I think that I deserve an LS.
I mean, turnabout is... seriously, like at that point, yeah. I see no fault in that logic whatsoever.
That's just relationship fairness at this point.
Right.
Yes. And it's not like you got to send kids to college. So
That's
Fuck
Him
it,
and
get the
Misfit
LS.
have
It's
gotten
the dink
married
life,
and gone to
man.
college. They're doing great. They have great
Yeah.
lives. Yes.
We didn't have
100%.
kids, and it was Mother Nature's
Yeah.
decision. So fuck it, we're gonna spend that money that we would have spent on kids.
Exactly. There it is. Oh boy. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So I would say those are the things that are probably going to happen next year. Is like I really want to do the rear seat delete, and then,
So
yeah.
So I didn't talk about
All right.
what Misfits fantasy list is. And, and part of the reason why it's a fantasy list is, full disclaimer, these products aren't out yet.
wait, hold on. Let's stop here. Are you allowed to say what these products are?
I am. I'm allowed to. I actually heard about them way before everybody else did. I learned about this setup on the Rubicon Trail during Jeepers Jamboree.
I'm just asking because we are live. I can't edit this out later. Okay,
yeah, so we're okay to say this. This is actually something Motobilt's put on their page. They are doing a rear half replacement for the Gladiator JT. So what that means is they're taking the back half of the frame, basically everything from the cab back, they're chopping it off, and they're replacing it with 2 straight frame pieces and the other cross-member pieces that are needed. And basically, it allows you to now do a double triangulated 4-link without moving shit and having stuff mounted in weird spots on your axles. So all of your shocks and your control arms, everything's going to be mounted to the top of the axle instead of on the bottom. And then you get that double triangulation that Randy loves in Gem so much. I'm going to have that in the Gladiator, and you're going to be looking like 60 inches of fucking flex with this thing when it's done.
Oh my god. That's insane.
Because he needs that.
Because I need it. So, like,
right?
Take a 6-foot wall, and I'll be able to put my tire on top of it and still keep my cab flat.
Damn.
So,
all right,
that's what we're trying to do to the Misfit.
And you're getting the cage.
And I'm getting a Motobilt cage. Also, not a production product.
A wish list.
It's still a wish list. So they've announced both of these things. The JT cage looks really rad. Bender told me that you're supposed to be able to put your hard top back on it just like you can with the JL cage. The double triangulated 4-link Bender was telling me about, and I didn't believe him until they showed me that they were really going to make it. But so, like, that's like parts of the Gladiator that I didn't even think were possible to get rid of that are going to be gone now. So
how much of your Gladiators left? Like
10%,
a third of the
20%.
The cab.
Yeah, the cab.
The cab, and it will be like a third of your frame.
The cab and like 2/3 of the frame.
And then what else is you? What else is a Gladiator?
That's it, because I don't even have original hood anymore.
Yeah, and you don't have like transfer case, nothing.
No transfer case.
So you'll have like a third. He'll have a third of the frame.
A fucking buggy, the best buggy.
He'll have a third of the frame. And a cab.
I'm gonna sit over here like Kermit.
Yeah. This is why my friend Kenny sold his Jeep. I totally understand now. He's like, I just bought a buggy. It's like, why? This is how much money you have to spend on a Jeep to make it do what a buggy does. And then it's waste, man. It's so wasteful.
Well, and part of the problem is with all of it, like, we talk a lot about like try to build only once if you can, but sometimes what you know and you like to do changes, right? Like when you set out, you weren't like, yeah, I'm going to want to go out there and do this stuff. And then you got out there and you're like, I like doing this stuff. And
exactly.
Next
like
thing
I thought I would go to
building
Moab once and it would be too hot and I'd never want to fucking go back. It wouldn't be fun, right? And it was actually like one of the best times of my life. And that kind of stuff, you're not expecting that when you go do your builds. The other thing that is, it's harder to build once when you buy a brand new model vehicle like the 2020 Gladiator. There wasn't anything like that before. So you're limited to what people were able to make. So within the first 3 months of having Gladiators, a couple of companies came out with a lift kit, and so that's what's available. So you have and now you're looking at it. Now there's like 2 companies with double triangulated 4-link and 3-link suspension. You got all kinds of different long arm options out there. All kinds of different things people have come out with for the Gladiator in 4 years. So yeah, you end up building it more than once because you bought the first thing. and if I would have started with a 2018 JK as on the opposite of that, I could have probably built it all once. But even some of these new technologies have come out since then, and I also didn't know.
Well, we wouldn't have even bought Rubicons in the first place if we would have knew what we were going to do.
I would have bought a Sport. For sure.
We would have bought a Sport and then went in on it. Yeah,
I would have bought a Sport and upgraded the radio.
If you can't tell somebody that they're going to be in the situation we're in, or even in some other situation, I can't really give advice on that because
we didn't think
we would be sitting here going, "I'm going to do what's the next level 9 trail that
our life situation was unexpected. The thing was way unexpected is that we're able to that we like doing this. That was that wasn't on our radar. That was never something we were going to take these Jeeps camping.
We were building overlanders. Yeah. We were literally I was planning out
I love overlanders. I know I made fun of them on my with the Gladiator
but that was
but I actually love it. That's what we were going to be.
Yeah. We were planning on going out and camping and finding going on ghost
and the one time,
and we still love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the one time we went camping where there's nobody else around, we were scared to death.
We were like, "This sucks."
And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't bring any guns, and we're out here in the middle of the wilderness, and there's bears and mountain lions.
But it was also deathly quiet. It was weird. It was almost like we were just sitting there,
at least an hour, at least 30 minutes to the next person, possibly an hour to the next person.
Yeah,
where we were in the boonies, up on a thing, greatest view you've ever seen.
The dog was sleeping in my arm, and every noise he heard, he growled, and he was just and then Dottie was peeing in a circle all the way around us. She just kept drinking water and peeing, and I was what is out there?
Think what you want about guns or personal safety, but you have to have some form of I need you to get the hell away from me, animal, when you're in that situation. Yeah. Right? So if you have bear mace or whatever you have, cool. But I had 0 things.
No, we were scared because everywhere else we were going in the area.
Zero safety with me.
Zero safety.
We were
no
so
guns,
stupid.
no bear mace.
But it was silent and it was weird.
You hit the panic button on my Jeep. Maybe that's
I love that shit. And that's what's ironic to me about the fact that I know you guys now, because I started on the other end. I got my Jeep. I moved out to Colorado. I'm like, oh, look, I got a Jeep. I can finally do something with it. I'm going to make it into a rock crawler. I made it into a rock crawler, and I hated it. I hated and I don't have that Jeep anymore because of that. That's it's that thing. I really enjoy the overlanding part of it and the day trips and sometimes the camping piece of it. And it's just funny. You don't necessarily know what you want to do until you start doing it.
Right. So you can't judge anybody on their builds. That's really
and you also have to realize other people's builds are for what their Jeep does.
Mm-hmm.
That's
buy once, cry once. That's bullshit. That's the meanest thing you can tell somebody, because everybody feels terrible about all, because you know what? 90% of people need a stamped steel bumper. They don't need they don't need the 3/4 inch steel that I have and the crazy stuff that's going on my Jeep. I literally Pope needs to be in bubble wrap.
That's a true statement, though.
So,
but if all you can afford is the inexpensive radio, as opposed to the brand name one that everybody knows and runs, then that's the radio that you get, man. Whatever it takes to get you out there, do the best that you can.
The best radio out there right now is the Baofeng cheapest piece of shit, because you can go with anybody and use anybody's whatever.
Baofeng,
it is literally, and their batteries last 3 times as long as any of their competitors that are bullshit
I'm
priced.
really sorry, Midland. Yeah, I hate to say it, but those, they're just better.
We had Baofengs first, and then we've bought other things that are garbage.
Like we literally
I
bought.
spent like 4 times as much on these radios.
I think that the reason why we bought these other name brand radios, and I'm not going to trash them.
No.
But if you've actually heard me compliment my in-car radio from them. But their handheld radios were not the same. But I liked that I could talk to my friend who was a mile away. And he was at we're at the chute, or it's up near if you know Sand Hollow really well, we're up near the chute, we're up by Double Sammy. He's down at the parking lot at the state park meeting somebody there. And he's on there giving them their instructions and talking to them, and he's able to tell us, hey, we're on our way up to you. I'm like a mile away, and I can hear him. And I was like, well, okay, that's a good reason to buy that particular radio.
Yeah.
But it only lasts for like 20 minutes.
But it only lasts for like 20 minutes.
Like, it's such a great radio until it dies.
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought it was my bad radio or my bad battery, so I used a different one. The next
they're running
time I was like, nope,
more
it died.
watts. They're running higher watts on those radios and the handhelds than the Baofeng is. I think it's why the batteries die so fast, and that's why the range is so good. But you've got one or the other, and typically what I'm doing is I'm on a trail ride, so the person I need to reach is usually within 200 yards of me.
Right.
And so I don't need a radio that gets 2 miles, but I did like I could squelch out the freaking interference. There's issues.
Yeah, but you can get one of those really long antennas and a $25 Baofeng, and you are golden. And guess what? You don't have to have anything else.
If you can tolerate a little bit of interference once in a while on that, you're all set.
And honestly, a lot of that could be taken care of with some really simple filters if you do a little bit of research and look up. It's just you don't always have to spend an arm and a leg to get good
you
gear.
Really don't.
And you just at the very least you have to get some gear, like get the recovery gear. Get the best you can get with the money you have.
Get something
that
that's
stuff.
good enough quality. So there's the difference between like name brand and you're spending arm and a leg, and then there's Temu.
Yes.
So don't go for the Temu unless you're buying the backhoe, and then if you did, let me know because I'm interested in it. So I need to get rid of my bamboo in the backyard.
Wait, is there a backhoe you want to buy on Temu?
Yeah, and it's cheaper than it would cost me to have someone remove the bamboo by hand if I just buy this.
I look forward to your unboxing video.
It's a skid steer.
It's like this big.
It's gonna be.
So I bought this $3,000
remember when you were a kid?
steer.
Yeah. Remember when you were a kid and you went to the park and had that little construction thing?
I think I might
back
have
and
to
forth?
hire a jockey to come in and drive it for me, but it's it's a discount. No, I like that's the thing that I want to emphasize. Like you don't necessarily have to buy the biggest thing. You have to buy the best thing that you can afford for your situation and what you're going to do with it. And if you are thinking about becoming a rock crawler, you should know it's not really cheap.
No,
and
it is not.
And it's a kind of sport where something that should last a lifetime is a consumable item, like a ball joint on your axle.
Yeah.
That would last any normal user their entire life of their vehicle. But with us, it's a 6-month item.
Well, not with all off-road drivers, but with Pope, yes, it is a 6-month item.
Yeah.
Or Josh, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. And Josh and I, we are like the we're not yee because there's yee, that's them guys. But we do a lot of like send it and break it. With this
So dum-dums then?
Yeah. And I think that like
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, and then when you add Rev Kit, it becomes the Dumberer and Dumbest. Dumbestest.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what you get is a circular firing squad of stupidity.
Yeah.
And you just get a bunch of people all agreeing, that's a great idea. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
So, JD, what's on your Monopoly list of things you want?
I don't have a Monopoly list. I do have a list. Actually, I do have a bit of a Monopoly list. I have my basics that have to happen next year are going to be like tires, and I've talked about that before. Like those are just things that have to happen.
Are you going to go up to 37s, or are you staying on 35s?
Just for the warranty, unless I can get confirmation from them that I can go to 37s, then
Warranty's the
I'm
devil.
not going to go bigger.
The death of you.
Yep.
The death of you. Like, it's the saddest
Well-
story. Every time I have this little teeny tiny violin, and it's about this big. And
Well, no, like,
it makes this
here's
sad,
the thing,
sad
though, like,
song for you.
It's an artificial limit, but it's also with this particular Jeep, it kind of keeps me from doing stupid, crazy shit. And no, Brian, it's not just the goddamn clock spring, but thank you. But there also is part of this. It's still my daily driver.
Yeah.
And like, I can't, the more modifications that I do to it, the more it makes it uncomfortable to get to and from work. And as much as it sucks, I work for a place that has been making the return to office more and more of a thing. So I got to drive 40 miles each way, and it
I
sucks
feel you
doing
on
that
that
in the
return.
highway in a 37 inch
miles
tire.
each way on 37s, and it's hot.
He's getting
It
19
looks
miles
good.
per gallon.
I know, and I'm getting like 19 right now.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting
Well,
19 on
when I-
37s. I'm
when
getting
I-
like
when I get-
19 to 22.
But-
on
but-
highway miles, I'm getting like 22, 23 on the highway.
Like every little thing
And it's a
that you
two-door
change.
too. It's hologram.
Like,
Yeah.
it looks like it's only one cost, right? Like, it looks like it's like, oh, it's just extra money to buy 37s. But then you got to calculate for the next 40,000 miles that you're only getting
Yes.
15 miles
And
per gallon.
here's the other piece. Here's
But I'm
the other
getting
piece too.
18, 19 on average.
This Jeep now has 150,000 miles on it. Do I really want to sink a ton of money into it to keep doing those kinds of things? Because yeah, if I do 37s, it's going to stress other parts. It's going to break shit. So I feel like this Jeep is at a good level on that level. I want to get new tires. I want to get I actually want to get new rims, new wheels this year. That's definitely on my list of things. Method, I think it's Method that has a pair that I really like.
Are you looking at bead locks? Or are you looking at those? Like, I think it was Method that makes these new bead grips, right? So
It is Method, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love their designs. They have some really great designs that they're heavy duty. Like, you can look at them and you can tell that they're still heavy duty, and they're set back. So you, even in an off-road environment where we're going to run into them on a regular basis, it's not going to be as damaged as everything else is. Beadlocks wouldn't necessarily be off the table because I do like going down real low, and I have zero problems doing it. I just don't necessarily know if I want the expense for how often I'd use them.
That's fair.
That's kind of my piece with it.
Plus,
there's the maintenance to go with it.
one of the reasons why I like the bead grip wheel. I haven't actually used it, but I've researched the idea behind it, and the knurlings that kind of keep the tire on the wheel make up for the fact that you don't have a bead lock with that one. So you can go down to 5 or 6 pounds of air pressure and still be street legal and still not have a bead lock. So you get the best of both worlds. I haven't seen what the cons are, but Dirt Lifestyle Nate really freaking loved those things out on the trail, driving them in real scenarios that we would drive in. He liked them.
Yeah. And I'm having a hard time finding like an explanation or like a picture quickly of how it works. But yeah, it's essentially a bead inside the wheel well, so that just the rubber sits in between the two and kind of helps keep it in place. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to those. Those would definitely be high on my list, especially because I'm already a person that can comfortably go down to 8 and not feel like I'm really I'm worried about popping shit.
Right. If you're thinking about it, look into something like those. If you're looking at, like, I don't want to do bead locks because they're not street legal, and my highway.
Oh, that's a valid point.
The highway patrol people that live where I live are experts in wheels, and they can spot a fake bead lock on the road versus a real bead lock. Whatever the scenario might actually be.
Yep.
Right. Like, you can assume that your highway patrolman who got C's in high school probably doesn't know what a bead lock is, and you're probably right. But you don't want to chance it.
Well, that is fair. Although the rise of the fake bead lock has been quite nice for those people who like to try to skirt that law.
It
so
sure has.
good
And then
for you.
like the bead capable, like the bead lock capable wheels, like the Broncos and the Ford F-150 Raptors have. Come on, man.
Yep.
you're just not pulling people over for that now. So that's not like, if you're worried about it, that's one reason. But the main thing that you're worried about, you don't have to worry about that.
Well, and here in Colorado, they don't even have the money to pull people over for minor offenses anymore. So just don't worry about it here.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
And when I say that, I also refer you to the disclaimer that you heard at the start of the show. So that's like, the wheels are my big thing for this year. Those have to go. I'm running those stock. I'm still running the stock Rubicon wheels, and I need to get something better when I get those new tires. And skid plates.
Holy shit! You don't have skid plates?
Don't say that.
I got
that. I just barely got skid plates in December. So
yeah, people were like, "You guys don't have skid plates?" But the guy who worked on our Jeep before was like, "Oh, they're too much weight for you guys." I think that he liked making money on us, like bashing everything around, and he talked us out of getting.
Now we've got this nice armor that protects all of the parts that used to have to be replaced all the time.
He's like, "Oh no, it's just so much weight on the bottom. I wouldn't do skid plates."
Without saying,
so we did it, and everybody was like, "What? You have all that money underneath there, and you're not protecting it in any way, shape, or form."
Yeah. That's the silly thing.
People were shocked, and we were kind of brainwashed into thinking that was like, I don't know.
Oh, we
neither of us made it a priority. We were worried about other things.
Eventually, it got to the point where I was like, "Hey, wait! If you know that guy built my Jeep, do you think my Jeep sucks, or do you think it's awesome?"
Yeah.
Because if you think it's awesome, then you probably, good.
Yeah. You wouldn't have so much feedback, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. So, I learned I didn't really get a chance to get it done this year, but it has been on my list this year, because it is part of the reason why my Jeep suffered the damage that it suffered that took me out when we started the show. It was just, if I'd had some skid protection in there, I might not have had the damage that I had, and I might not have been in the situation I was in the first place.
Think about this. The minimum skid plate you need is your oil pan. You've got your oil pan. It's completely exposed. And guess what? That fucking cast iron lid on that thing, it'll break if you hit it hard enough. It doesn't just dent. It breaks. It'll crack. And so
we've seen that.
We've seen that in real life. It's worth your time to cover that thing and protect it. It's worth the money.
Yeah, so I plan on spending some money on that this year. Those will probably be my heavy duty areas of spending. If I had unlimited cash to do with what I want.
Yeah,
which ones are you looking at?
Which ones? I don't.
So forget that Randy and I are work with Motobill. Like, what are the features that you really want? First?
I know which set I would have if I didn't work with Motobill.
Yeah, me too.
I like the skid plates that I have, but I think the next venture, Motorsports, with the plastic shit on it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many people with them. You just slide over rocks, and it's like it's a cushion. It's all kinds of stuff. If you want, I sound like a terrible person for saying this, but they're probably the best on the market if you're looking for skid plates. The
aluminum ones are lighter than the steel.
What are they called? What is that material called? Just a little FYI. That is my unbiased opinion. I don't have it on my Jeep, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I wasn't working with Motobill, I would have those ones.
I get you. I understand that people like to give Smitty-built shit for lots of reasons, and some of it's valid.
But especially because you can just change the second letter to an H.
True, and I would actually respect them more if they did that.
You agree, Brian? Brian agrees with me.
Right. There you go.
I don't know. Maybe he agrees with somebody else. I don't know, but I think he agrees with me.
He's just agreeing with us. So thank you, Brian.
Yes. Thanks, Brian.
We all appreciate you.
Fuck you, Brian.
Fuck you, other Brians. The Smitty-built Gen 2 bumpers have essentially their rubber plastic skid plates on top of the metal. So while I was in Sand Hollow, I actually hit one, and the only thing I've got to replace now is the piece of plastic with 3 Allen bolts, and I'm done. And it's just a panel, and it's done, and it slid right over the top of it. broke it, and okay, good. I can move on from that. I don't have to replace any metal. I don't have to worry about it's been compromised structurally. I just replaced the piece. I'm not opposed to that idea.
All
I
right.
like it.
So I think the name of them is the only reason why people don't like it, right?
What?
Smitty built.
Smitty built? No, I think it's because it's the same people who will tell you can't have a Baofeng radio because for whatever
Exactly.
it's Chinese made or whatever.
It's Chinese made. It's not FCC
a lot
approved.
Of times,
whatever.
Yeah, a lot of times is that the products you're putting in your Jeep anyway are made overseas somewhere. So whether or not you like it or not, it is what it is. So, but yeah, that kind of appeals to me. Like I know I've been looking at a few. I know where I want to put protection. Drive line, control arms, kind of the stuff that I've had problems with in the past to start with, especially to start with. I just know it's got to be top priority list for next year because especially after experiencing Sand Mountain like I did this year, I'd love to do some more things that are a little rougher, but that would require me having skid plates in case, or because I'm going to bottom out because I'm running 35.
You could easily do 6s. Like you could easily do 6s on your
any
setup.
trail that's a 6 out there in Sand Hollow, you could sign up.
Oh,
for
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think you would feel a lot more confident having I think that will be fun to start taking you out on things.
I'm telling you, we need to take him on Double Sammy, man.
That you're friends with us and we're terrible, terrible, terrible people to know.
If we were at an event, I would do double Sammy with you guys.
Oh yeah, well I think you can do double Sammy, and I want you to do double.
Because I think I feel comfortable with it after reading a few things about it. But yeah.
Oh, dude,
so yeah, and then
you don't trust us to tell you that you can do it.
We know.
Are you worried we're going to put you in the pit of?
No,
we dragged Josie through all of
us
Sand
in the
Hollow.
situation of being 35 to 40 people deep. Yeah, that's the problem. Is when we get into the circular firing squad. That's the problem. Because they're like, oh yeah, I could do that. Sure, yeah, I could do that. Next thing you know,
but I
I'm
believe you
dumped
can
down
do.
my oil.
I mean, you can do that for sure. I've seen a Jeep in your stature and everything do it just fine.
I've seen a Jeep in your type of a setup much longer, like 50 inches longer than you. And still do that.
I don't want to hear about anything 50 inches longer than me, Pope. All right. See, I brought it to a halt.
Boom.
All right. And fenders. Fenders are big on my list this year too. I've been running.
Brian agrees with me. You could do double Sammy easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm good for that too.
You've got enough wheeling experience on your other trails that when you go to double Sammy, it's.
Yeah.
I probably would have felt comfortable if we'd had time for it when I was there, but we had too much shit going on.
That time we didn't have time. If you come out to Winter 4x4 and you come a little early, we can make some time. Because I want
that might be happening.
Trail. Like
I haven't done it in like 2 years. I love that trail. It's like a great trail. It's like overly done, but we haven't been on it forever.
Right. I haven't posted a video of Misfit on the shoot in like 2 years because I haven't been on it in 2 years.
Well, it's because we always everybody's like, oh, I've done it like 10 times, and we always are like, shoot, can we just go do some double Sammy? I just love to just run through it. I love that trail. It's not been 2 years, but it's been a long time. I feel like it's been a long time.
No,
it was the night run.
We did the night run Trail Hero in 2023.
Is that the last time we did double Sammy?
Yep.
No, it was Thanksgiving last year. We did Thanksgiving last year.
Oh yeah, I think I drove Jem on double Sammy on Thanksgiving.
You hated Jem
because Jem sucks. I hate her.
Sorry. Sorry, thoughts.
No, you're good. You're fine. Let's see what the only other thing on my wish list, like if I could just manage to get $3,000 to $6,000 that I just had to spend on stupid bullshit, some sort of a vinyl wrapping or paint correction. The Jeep my clear coat's coming off in parts and it needs it needs a refresh. I still think I keep the yellow. I don't want to stray from that, but I want to do something with it. I don't really want to do the topographic lines because I feel like that's just getting done to too much.
Yeah.
But
when the first couple people came out with them, they were cool.
Yeah. Well, now there's a company that just sells you a kit and you can just get the whole thing. They'll send you the pre-cut kit and then you can put it on your vehicle. I'm just like, all right. So they're going to be everywhere next summer. So
yeah.
but yeah, I talked with some guys here and close to me and Josh that actually do it, and if some things manage to happen, then yeah, maybe that'll happen. But
Dude,
at the very least,
we
maybe a new
almost
hood.
wrapped our Jeeps last year. And
why not?
The company the first company we talked to tried to rip us off.
Yeah.
And so we decided, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah, but then you blew your motor.
Then I blew my motor up,
we were
and it
planning
changed
on
the whole
doing
plan.
it. Yeah.
Because
we were
okay.
going to wrap our Jeeps.
I was going to wrap
idea.
Misfit black.
Yeah.
My Jeep was going to be like a black gold, like that satin black gold that you see a lot of Teslas have. I was going to do that to the Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And
the matte black.
The first
and this guy, do you want to know what do you think? What is a reasonable amount to wrap a Jeep? What do you think would be like a cost
full
to wrap,
color
like
change?
Full color change.
6 grand, 7 grand, 8 grand. I'm not sure.
And that's on the high end of what most people quoted us.
Would quote.
Yeah.
This company said 10 grand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And they were giving us they were like it was going to take 2 weeks, and it was going to take them a week to strip our Jeeps down. And I was like, with all of our aftermarket parts, and I'm like, we could strip it down in a day. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Taking a week to take it apart.
It was 10 grand.
I could take it to Impulse Off-Road. They'll rip all the parts off for me.
Yeah, probably
in one day.
Yeah, for $100. Yeah. For labor.
So they were going to charge us 10 grand for a full color change. We were like, ooh.
Yeah, and so
we're like,
we're
super cool. Okay, bye.
And other companies we called said five or
six. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were looking at it, and I was just like, after the first one didn't go through, I was just like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this yet. And then my motor blew up. I wanted to have it wrapped before Winter Forward, and he couldn't get it done by then, and no one else could get it done by that fast either.
But then
he
quoted us 10 grand for like a color change. I was like,
yeah, it better be some here's the thing. We drive Jeeps, right? They have some curves, but they're pretty boxy. They're still pretty boxy vehicles, even the new ones.
And my Gladiator is more boxy. Like the back end of mine is box.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Hummer from the military.
But he told us it would take us 2 weeks because it was a week to wrap it and then a week to take all the parts off. And I was like, I mean, we do have a lot of garbage, but it takes me 15 minutes to pull my light bar down. Not even 15 minutes. It's 4 bolts.
Yeah.
I was just confused. It was just really funny. I just knew he was trying to
I think he's like, oh yeah, these guys got the money.
Oh, look at what they have
Here
on
comes
there.
money.
I'm 100% sure. Yeah, it's a very as much as I love the area that Josh lives in, because I lived in Castle Rock for the first 6 years we were here, there is a distinct difference if I try to get something done locally there in Castle Rock, or if I go outside of the area, like if I go to Colorado Springs or Denver. It's just a very different price system, mainly because they know the clientele that's coming in. It has nothing to do with how much it costs them to be in business there. It has everything to do with the clientele they know is coming in the door. They have much more disposable cash. So, Brian, Beatrice JKU is suggesting that I need a fathead vinyl of Pope's face on my Jeep.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, where's my...
And, man, I would do it. I would 100%
that's been
do
on
it.
for years. Randy used to have that fat head of Jimmy Johnson.
The race car driver.
The race car driver. Not
he
the
gave
football
it
coach.
to me, and I was like, "Can I put it above the bed?" It was in my living room forever. It was in my living room forever. I loved Jimmy Johnson, the race car driver. We used to be into NASCAR. That's like a whole other story.
Same here. I had a whole period of NASCAR. I had the in-ear, like you're watching on the computer and listening to the ear. Oh God, yeah, it was a whole problem.
Back in the day before he was 5-time Jimmy Johnson, he was in the Nationwide series. I think it was called the Nationwide at that time because it's been called a bunch of things. But he was my dad was a huge Hendrix Motorsports fan, and he was a huge Jeff Gordon fan. And so he's like, you can have any race car driver you want. but they have to be in Hendricks Motorsports. And I hated all the guys in Hendricks Motorsports, but I loved Jimmy Johnson, and he was in London. And I liked him before he won 5 championships. So
That's
he
awesome.
was my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I like Tony Stewart before he won championships too. Just saying.
Same. I actually got to see him win at the Indianapolis 500. That was awesome.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, I left the track that day with I had never experienced it before, but we got to the parking lot and I'm like, I was covered in little bits of rubber and from all of the stuff that had come off me. It was awesome. I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a NASCAR fan, just go to a NASCAR race, have a good time, and it's a fucking riot. It's so much fun.
Oh, I like that's and like Vegas, like going to the Vegas Motorsports. I want to go down to Vegas and see one of their races down there. One of these types. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, NASCAR. It's not a NASCAR podcast, but I love
no
NASCAR. Okay, I love racing. Like I love racing.
I bet you there's a pretty good crossover of off-roading people.
I'm pretty sure
that like NASCAR. I mean, they'd have to. Like, I mean, it's just another thing.
It's automotive.
There's rally racing and stuff like that and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, I imagine there's some crossover. A few of the SEMA builds that we're going to talk about in a later show are very much in that arena. Just speed in the desert, speed over hard surfaces. Pope, I just opened another one and I shouldn't have. All right, so that's it. I've got a laundry list of little items like 360 cameras that I'm planning on getting next year that were all things I actually planned on getting this year, just didn't get the time because I was too busy doing this shit.
I still want the carburetor dashboard, even though you've had nothing but problems because of your clock spring issue. But
I don't think it's the dash though, man. I
don't think it's the dash either. But I still want that. My friend, I have a couple of friends who run them and they love them. You lose.
I know somebody.
Event.
We'll talk to some.
Yeah, you lose event in the 2020 Gladiator. But really,
you don't want one for Randy. Doesn't want one, but you could get one. So at least you have one vehicle that's not dependent on it.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm looking out for you guys.
There you go.
So yeah, all right. Well, anything else on your wish list of things that you just definitely are not going to afford next year?
Well, I really want to make Hologram have a Hemi.
No, God.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's
so
not
this
happening.
is the thing.
No.
I can already tell you that's not happening.
My real wish list item that I'm probably not getting for next year is I want a Ford Ranger Raptor. I almost bought one, but I didn't have a place to park it.
And then
I'm fixing that problem. And then maybe in March, but maybe not at all. By March, somebody else is going to come out with something. Maybe I'll look at that Hummer thing and be like, "Ooh, yeah, that'd be nice." But,
you've got other concerns.
We have other.
What about you, Randy? Same concern, right?
Yeah. No, we're
Yeah.
I think we're good. I don't think we need to spend any more money.
Randy needs a Corvette.
I think that's a good idea. Like a Corvette. No,
it's Monopoly money.
Wait, yeah.
This is Monopoly
Randy,
money.
Yeah. Okay. Because I now have the bit where she's just like, I don't think we need anything. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, and then the Corvette. Okay.
No Corvette.
Cool.
No, I think we're good. I think we're gonna settle and just kind of hang. But that's it.
I don't believe you, but I look forward to us talking about this at this time next year and me playing this clip of this show about, and I'll make a note. We'll come back and we'll revisit what we talked about tonight next year about the same time.
Randy's going to show up in a moon buggy and
I mean, if I could have, I do have a slight dream to have a buggy, but it's going to be different. Like it will be like, I mean, I definitely will have a buggy someday. But it won't be Gem or Misfit. It's going to be like an actual buggy. Like
it'll be Gem.
And it won't be. No, I'm with you.
I want Gem to stay Gem.
No, Gem is too heavy, right? To be like a good buggy.
And that's why you also I think if it's your first off-roader and you have the means to do it, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Make it the build
Well-
you want to build it, and then leave it alone after that.
Well, I mean, and there's not really leaving it alone. I'm sure I'll change out, like do things to Gem, but Gem is kind of at a place where I want her to stay in that full body rig, like all that kind of stuff. There's no reason to put rear steer on Gem. Like there's no reason to
Right.
do all that. I would rather get another vehicle and do all the crazy moon buggy things to it.
Maybe you think, but maybe.
I mean, I could be eating my words later, but I feel like Gem is perfect for her build and her stature and her stuff, and like she's that kind of rig, and I think she's perfect that way.
And I'm with you, and I think that I just think it'll be awesome next year to have the same conversation and be like, did we
and
stick
then
to
I'm
that
like,
or
oh,
did we change?
cool,
Yeah.
Randy got rear steer in January, like,
And it's
it's
we're
like,
not. This
yeah.
is not like Kreskin.
Like-
we're not
like
asking
what if
you to
your
hold
motor
to your
doesn't blow
predictions
up?
here.
No,
You
I
got
mean, in
rear
10
steer
years
instead.
from now, whatever Gem is, she might fucking self-drive herself through the shit.
Really?
Like, I might, like, be able to set her up to, like, some sort of,
You
like...
kind of need cutting brakes and stuff too. You know, rear steer, cutting brakes. That's
There's just all kinds of things that you just don't know where... Like, in 10 years from now, I can't even imagine...
these went from Jeeps.
Yeah,
to
they
not-
were Jeeps.
They're not Jeeps anymore.
They're not
There
Jeeps.
used to be Jeeps.
Right. Well, and the sport's changing too, so it could be
Totally.
a whole different ball game in a year.
Mhm.
It could be a whole different ball game in 5. It will be a whole different ball game in 5 years.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that I don't know where she's going. I just am here for the ride. It's her that tells
Yeah.
me, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I don't know
All
where
right, well,
I'll
then
be in 10 years, in 5 years from now. I don't know where, like, it's just weird.
Brian wants to get his mullet.
You're gonna
cut
have
off.
17 dogs, and
4 houses in
and-
Sand Hollow, 3
4
in,
houses
like,
in
Texas.
Sand Hollow,
Like, I don't
3 in Texas, one in
Oh, we
at
should have
least
bought some
one on the
Texas
East
houses
Coast.
first before they were expensive.
know. I know.
Well,
Yeah, they're
they're
going
all
up.
about to get expensive. Yeah,
The whole
more
world's going to
expensive.
be expensive.
It really is. All right, I have one last wish list. Well, a couple. We can run through these real fast here because I don't have specs on them. I couldn't find any like information on them because I think they've already been sold by the company that makes them. So, this is a
Motherfucker, I
company
saw
called
one like that the other day on the internet. I wanted to buy it.
It's called SoFlo Customs, and this is their JTT. It's essentially their scrambler, and they've got a couple of these actually. It's fucking fantastic.
Oh
looking,
my
man.
god,
Like,
look
they
how
just
cool that
chopped
is.
That's
It
cool.
looks great.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I like the
basically
leather. Ooh, that's pretty.
It's basically a JK, a 4-door JK they chopped.
Yeah, but I like the leather seats. Those are pretty.
Yeah, but that's
And
already.
it looks like it still has a hardtop option of some kind. I don't.
Yeah, it looks
they
like
don't
it's a-
show it in any of the videos, but it looks like there's some.
Oh, you
there's
could
still a
probably
hardtop
put
mount.
a Gladiator hardtop. It looks like it's.
They've made
probably-
a hardtop of some kind for it. It's probably a 2-piece,
Yeah.
probably a 3-piece deal, where you have the freedom panels and then the back
The
part
flat.
just sits over it. That's cool.
And-
I like that. Let's put
It's
that on
I
the
like
fantastic.
the
list.
green. I like the green and the leather. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty inside. I just hate that it's white.
Oh, I want to get a Gator one of those and
I
then
hate
build it
that
like
it's
Misfit, and we'll call it Misfit Junior.
You want to know what my biggest thing
Or
about
Misfit
this
2.
truck is?
What, the doors?
That's a usable fucking truck bed. No, that's a usable fucking truck bed. Like that's an actual truck bed that I could haul stuff in.
That's more than Misfit has now.
Yeah, I know. That's
If it was like
Yeah.
a color of any sort other than white and didn't have those doors, I think it'd be really cute.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I get that part too.
They
I
call
think
it
this,
the
and these-
what's the name of this company? I might have to like call them tomorrow.
What?
I'm so sorry, Randy. I apologize. It's SoFlo Customs in California.
Soulful Customs.
Yep. Then they had this one. Let's see if this one will pull up here for us. And this is where you really got to watch the show. This is a Bronco that they converted.
That's cool.
Wow. That one, for some reason, reminds me of Utah Yoda.
It does. It looks like pork chop to me.
It looks like pork chop.
It's like looks like it's that Raptor or the what's that stuff?
The Raptor lining.
Yeah, the Raptor liner on
mhm.
pork chop. It looks a lot like pork chop, even though it's a Bronco.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's because
it's because it's a Bronco. Because isn't pork
Bron-
chop's a
Bronco's a Toyota FJ.
oh yeah,
He's a Land Cruiser.
never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Land Cruiser's
yeah,
been
it's
converted
a-
to a truck.
It's a really slick looking build. It's just got that. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the tan color, but anytime the amount of hardware that they put under these things, these are $100,000, $150,000, sometimes $300,000 vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're insane prices. So Randy, that's the good part. I don't think Pope can, after spending all the money he's spent on Misfit, he can't afford any of these.
Damn it.
So yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
you have to buy
if you guys are
Ranger.
interested, yeah, there you go. Why not? But if you're interested, I feel like we should go in on this one as a group. I feel like this would be a really great purpose for. I don't know. I just feel like
both
it's
of them have really
Um,
pretty leather. I like that brown leather. Why am I liking that all of a sudden?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I think we should change your seats to leather.
No. Not gem, but I would.
What the hell is this?
What is that?
It's a boat too?
Jesus Christ.
That's the rack that Misfit has. That's literally Misfit's rack on the back of that. That's my old. That's my old rack. This old sport bar.
For those of you listening, there is a JT currently cruising down a canal. I'm guessing in Florida or California, somewhere in California,
Maximus.
maybe. I'm not sure where these guys are looking. So these guys are California. So yeah. They.
I've never seen this.
They do kinds of crazy shit.
Are they Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
no. This is California, but this is one of their 6x6s, I think.
Oh.
So they have. They're the folks that do the Apocalypse 6x6 Jeeps. To put all those together.
Oh.
So
that.
But it looks
sport rack. Is it the one from Fab Fours or is it a custom made one? That one's a custom made one, but it looks like the Fab Fours one.
Yeah, but they put a propeller on it and everything, man.
Yeah. Wow.
So, somebody bought that shit.
I've seen this Jeep on Instagram, but I've never seen it in its boat configuration.
I mean, here's the thing. These guys don't make these things unless somebody pays them to make them. Like, they're not out there like West Coast Customs just making them for MTV. Like, somebody paid for this boat truck. So,
That's
$300,000 can get you floating in a Jeep Gladiator. Or you could just take $30,000, 40, maybe 40, and just drive one into a lake.
Or just buy a boat.
Or just buy a boat. I mean, honestly, that's the better option.
I saw a boat being towed by a Jeep Grand Cherokee today. I thought that the boat was just rolling down the road by itself until I got in front of it because the car that was towing it. Yeah, I did call your fucking Grand Cherokee a car because it's a fucking car. It's not a truck. That fucking car was pulling this boat 30 miles an hour down the road. It couldn't go any faster than that. Up the hill, didn't matter. He didn't want to go faster than that down the hill because he didn't have enough brakes to stop if the fucking thing was going. All right. Anyway.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all by that. Though.
This ends really Pope insults a portion of the population for today. If you're a Californian with a Jeep Cherokee, go fuck yourself.
All right. We're done.
We're done. And that Randy is correct. We should be done now.
I have no earbud. I have no way to control this situation.
That is an awesome
I have no
piece
idea
of
what's
information.
really happening on the other side of the earbud. So,
all right. Well, then why don't you tell
What?
Randy that we're going to do a parting shot?
All right,
you don't even remember that. So
Randy, it's
you're
time
done.
for the parting shots.
We're done, Randy. We should go. We should all go to bed. It's too late for this bullshit. All right.
All right, parting shot.
And
we're
yeah,
done.
we will talk about the new Scout trucks next time, Brian. All right.
Oh, the Scout trucks. Yes.
Well, not tonight. Damn it! I'm tired now.
All right. Parting shot. Randy's pouring bourbon.
All right. Let me know when you're ready. I don't want to. I felt like I was ahead of the game last week. So.
All right. Here we go.
All right. To shit that we can or can't afford next year.
Shit
Cheers.
we can't afford.
Yep.
This is shit we can't afford, yeah. Oh, I'm going to be so much fun when I go upstairs.
And if you're named Brian and you're from California...
I know Randy can't hear me, but go ahead and pinch him. All right. Well,
she said, go ahead and pinch me.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight, everybody. And thanks for letting us be a part of your off-road adventures. Safe travels. Stay safe on and off-road. Stay the trail. And we'll see you next time at the Trailhead. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Sometimes it's like pulling teeth, and other folks, it's like I'm like, oh boy, we're getting past an hour. People's attention spans. You got to be aware of it.
My attention span.
I know, right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, Pope, shut up already. You're going too long.
I mean, I had to speak in a meeting yesterday, and it's one of those things where you're like speaking to the person who's like six levels above you, and you're just kind of a little anxious about it. And because I hate those calls because it's just 45 other people listening to you kind of tell this guy how stuff isn't broken. And I get through with this whole explanation, and he goes, "All right, sounds good to me. Don't have any questions. Next." And I typed my boss on the side. I'm like, what did I say? Did I say anything? Because I started talking and then I was over. Like, it was just, yeah, I get to the point sometimes on these things where it's like, I've been talking for way too long. I should just stop. Like, I don't know. I no longer know what I'm talking about. Just like then.
Yep, we're going to do a shot. We're going to start this.
Oh, we're going to start?
I'm a little bit... I've been working a lot.
I've had a week.
He's had a week. We've had a week.
And when work beats me up like this, I need at least a little pick-me-up to get the weekend started.
Oh, this could be an interesting show.
So, we're going to start with Fireball.
Oh, my God.
Ding.
That's scary.
Wow.
That hurts.
Come on, Randy. You can do it.
I'm serious. Like, I will never do that shit
Oh,
again.
that wasn't Fireball.
Oh, that was High West.
That was High West.
That's probably delicious.
Yeah, but it was not meant to be shot.
I know.
High West Bourbon from Park City. If you don't live in Utah, you can get your hands on High West Boo Rye, which is the bourbon rye combo. It is the bomb. There's a little jackalope on the bottle. It's really good.
You had me at jackalope.
I don't know if Oh, here, come here, phone.
I don't know why you can't get it in Utah. I have to go to Lee's in Windover to get it.
That's weird.
That's weird.
The whiskey bar at the Venetian has it, though.
And that is not that far from you. Although it is kind of a pain in the ass to drive that far. For just that. All right.
Yeah, you don't want to buy it at the Venetian. You basically pay for the bottle every glass.
Right. But if you can buy it at the Venetian, can you buy it at like liquor stores in Vegas?
Yeah, Lee's.
Okay.
Lee's Discount Liquor.
Lee's Discount Liquor.
I haven't seen it in any other liquor store.
Okay.
But I haven't looked that hard. But Lee's is a huge deal in Southern Nevada.
Is it really?
Yeah.
There's a place in Illinois called Binny's. It sounds about the same. Same kind of a weird name for that stuff. Somebody's business. All right. We are live on Instagram.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about tonight? Hey, Rob.
Hello. Let's see. Oh, Purple Haze JK. What's up? We kind of touched on wish list item stuff for next year, and Pope and I were kind of talking like Monopoly wish list kind of stuff. Like if you just had money, like what would you do? And in fact, to that end, I actually have exactly what I would do. But we can we're going to talk a little bit about that. We have a little bit of business stuff, but we'll do a little bit of that and then that. Yeah.
In a way, it's Monopoly money wish list, but also in a way, it's actually what I'm going to do.
Oh, shut up.
I'm just going to be poor. A lot of people get house poor. I'm just Jeep poor.
I mean,
Hi, Angie. See, Rob, you should just listen to this podcast, and then you'll know what you're doing next year.
Yeah, you'll know exactly what you're building next year. So in the Instagram live chat, Rob, who works at Impulse Off-Road, is the manager of the shop that works on Gem and the Misfit. He's listening, so he's probably excited to hear about the Monopoly Man wish list.
he's like, "Ooh, yeah, what you bring to me?" That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Funny.
All right. Well, what to talk to you? I need to get more hats made. That's
See, the
an
thing I
off-air
like
subject.
about I buy. Whoa! Dogs are just destroying the whole show. Fuck.
What the hell was that?
Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, what the hell was that?
The puppy took out everything.
Oh, okay. Pardon our interruption, everybody on Instagram. We'll be right with you while Pope and Randy figure out the situation.
We've never had that happen before. That was funny.
No, I kind of want to mute you, but I also kind of want to hear the shit show while you put this together.
No, you're good. Wow, he took everything. He took both
He got all of it.
microphones, like everything but the camera. Oh, the camera's over this way.
Oh no, the camera's down. Camera down.
There you go. He took everything.
Somehow, no drinks.
Yeah, that's funny. No drinks, but everything went.
But even that, the computer was on
Pope,
the floor.
you may have to go back out and back in because it's defaulted to your AirPods.
Ah, shit.
Oh, don't make me all by myself on Instagram. I feel like Garth in that moment on Wayne's World where everybody's just staring at him and he doesn't know what to say to anybody. And I really wish I had that clip to play right now, but I don't. So I'm just going to sit here and stare at the camera, concerned for my own safety. Oh, boy. This is what you get when you get live. See, this won't be in the final cut, everybody. So if you're watching this on Instagram, you're seeing a special treat of this particular part of the shit show. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you letting me know that because luckily Hades is at the age where he doesn't really cause that much of a ruckus, and if he did, man. And I don't know if that was a puppy battle or if that was just like they started running around and then took everything out. I know I can be kind of creepy too. I get it. It's kind of what I do. Josh is laughing at me. I really did have. You know what? I got a clip for you guys. I can play this one right now. Let's see here. The horror fans should like it.
Whip it up, play a roar, feel the ground shake. Pedal down, just fine, no time to waste. The trailhead's coming, engines fire, we're on a roll. This is where trails start and stories unfold. Under starlit skies where the wild things roam. Every trail a journey, every Jeep a home. Meet me at the trailhead where the wild ones run, where the dust gets high and the day's not done. With the road wide open and the dirt in our soul, this is where trails start and stories unfold. When the trail gets tough, we crank it up. Dig down deep, yeah, we never stay stuck. Jeeps on the ridge, friends by our side. Off-road families, one hell of a ride. Race keep rolling, the day's wearing thin. Gonna tell our stories on the trailhead again. Meet me at the trailhead where the wild ones run, where the dust gets high and the day's not done. With the road wide open and the dirt in our soul, this is where trails start and stories unfold. Whoa. down deep, yeah, we never stay stuck. Jeeps on the ridge, friends by our side. Off-road family, it's one hell of a ride. Rigs keep rolling, the days wearing thin. Going to tell our stories on the trailhead again. Meet me at the trailhead where the wild ones run, where the dust kicks high and the day's not done.